All right, good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Bickerstaff here, enjoying this beautiful snow we see here in Saxe on January the 10th, 2021. Kind of a nice change from 2020, I would say. So a couple things just want to update you on real fast is that, as you can see, we've seen some very heavy wet snow, which is the pretty kind, so that's good. And temperatures slowly falling. We've gone down from, started out about 38 about an hour ago, and now we're down 36 at my house and a little cooler in some other spots. And we're going to talk about that, and we are going to talk about how to properly measure snow. So first and foremost, you see some cooling going on with the temperature. Like I said, it started out about 38 degrees. So there's two things working to cool the temperature, if I could talk right. Must be too cold out here. One is evaporative cooling, and what happens there is that when the snow starts falling into a somewhat drier air mass, releases heat, which in turn cools the air around it. So that's why when you see all these snowflakes coming down, each little snowflake is going from liquid to, or originally went from liquid to frozen. That releases cool air all around it. So when you get a lot of snowflakes, it will do, it will cool the air around it. And then also too, we have dynamic cooling in place. And what that does is that says, hey, there's so much precipitation falling at one time, it cools the atmosphere right around it. So you have two things working in to cool our atmosphere this afternoon, dynamic cooling and evaporative cooling. So with that, and we'll take a look around here. Like I said, well, you know what? If I would change the orientation, that would help. There we go. Okay. And so like I said, so big wet snowflakes at my house, so really cool. It's we don't see that much in North Texas. A lot of times we get the ice and we get the little bitty dry snowflakes, so that's no good. But so now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to properly measure snow. Now, let me show you something real quick. That's my weather station right there. Now, it has a rain gauge on top of it, but it doesn't measure snow. So what it does is it'll take that snow that falls into it. Of course, right now with temperature being 35 degrees, it'll melt anyway. And it'll turn into liquid, and of course it'll measure the liquid equivalent of the snow. But it doesn't measure how much snow we got. So to do that, what you ideally need is a snowboard, but I know most of you don't have that. So we're going to kind of show you an improvised way to do it. All right. So what you have here, it's very fancy. It's a cardboard. It's a piece of cardboard. So, but it really will do what you want it to do. So it's a flat surface. You want to keep it away from the house, keep it away. The wind's not really blowing this afternoon, but if it was blowing, you want to keep it away from the wind. And really what you do is you just set it on the ground and you let the snow accumulate on it if it doesn't melt. Now, I think I could get pretty close here and see. As you can see, yeah, you know what? It's not melting right away. But, if it stays out here long enough, it'll start to accumulate. So what you want to do is you want to do that first, like I said. You want to lay it on a flat surface. And then, of course, the other thing you need is something to measure it with, right? All right, so that's just a good old-fashioned ruler. There's architectural scale I had in college, gig of Aggies. So if there was enough snow to measure, you would measure that snow with this ruler. And so if it was an inch high, you would obviously say, hey, I got an inch of snow. And then, of course, if it was less than that, whatever it is. So ideally what you would do, I don't think we're going to get enough snow to really worry about this, but ideally what you would do is that you would take a measurement the same time every day or 2 times a day. And then once you take that measurement, if there's a lot of snow on it, then you would brush off that board, and then of course you'd lay it on top of the snow if there was a layer of snow on the ground. And then of course you add the 2 numbers up or the 3 numbers up, however many times you measured, and then that's how much total inches of snow you got. So we're going to leave this right here, and we're going to come back later and see how much snow we got. Now, here's the thing. If it melts, if it's not cold enough for the snow to stick, let me turn this back around. If it's not cold enough for the snow to stick, then, there we go. My phone is fogging it. If it's not cold enough to stick, then we won't, technically you didn't have any accumulation. So it could snow all day long, but if it doesn't stick, or melts, then you technically didn't have any accumulation. So since my phone's fogging up, I'll turn it off for now. But again, just wanted to give everybody a quick update. Expect this for most of the afternoon, the heavy wet snow, and then it'll taper off tonight. We may have a chance for just a little bit of a snow in the morning. It's a little too early to tell what the streets may be looking like in the morning, so we'll have to kind of watch that. It all just depends on how cold it gets this afternoon and how much the snow sticks. But we'll have an update on that later today. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Enjoy the snow, everyone.